Hello, my name is Ben from the TLC. In this video, I will be talking about what Google Drive is and how to use it to its maximum effectiveness for your study and work. Hopefully, this video will even provide some tips for those of you who already know how to use Google Drive. So first, what is Google Drive? It's officially a cloud storage service. What that essentially means is that it's a flash drive you can access from the internet anywhere you sign into your Google account. So, how you access Drive is very simple. First, log into your @swmish Google account however you want. You can go straight to the Drive website or go to your email first, and that's what I'll be doing in this video. I'll sign into Wired first. And then click on the email button at the top. Once you're logged in, you can access Drive. Simply click on the grid of dots near your profile picture, and then click Drive. Now you're in Google Drive. From here, you can access a variety of different tabs that you can see on the left-hand side of the screen. On these next few slides, there's an image on the right-hand side of the screen with an arrow pointing to the tab I'm referring to. We'll skip the first tab for now and go to My Drive. This contains all the items you upload or add to your drive. This window is just like if you open a flash drive on your computer. It can hold files and folders, and this is where the majority of time is spent in Google Drive. Simply put, these are files you own, as well as shared files that you've added a shortcut to. The next tab, labeled Shared Drives, will not appear for most students. For me, this contains the shared drive that us learning consultants use. After that is the Shared With Me tab. This contains all the files and folders that someone else has shared with you. It's important to note that these things in this tab are not technically in your drive and will not show up in your My Drive tab unless you add a shortcut to them. You can do this by right-clicking on the shared item and clicking Add Shortcut to Drive. Next up is Recent. This tab will show both files you own and files that were shared with you. It simply organizes them by most recently accessed files at the top to least recently accessed at the bottom. The Starred tab is next, which simply contains items you have marked as starred. This usually means that they are important and you want them to be designated as such so they don't get lost or deleted. For example, if you frequently use a file for reference, it would be a good idea to star it so you can find it very easily. The last on the list is Trash. This doesn't sound useful at first, but it comes in handy if you accidentally delete something. Items you delete from your drive don't instantly disappear. Instead, they get sent to trash for 30 days, and then they are deleted. This gives you a safety net in case you accidentally get rid of something you needed. Finally, let's jump back up to the top where Priority is located. This keeps files you have been working on frequently and recently at the top. This sounds similar to the Recent tab, and it is, but with a few extra perks. This tab lets you create workspaces, which act like folders that you can keep similar files in. However, these workspaces don't actually move the files from where they are, so deleting the workspace when you're finished with the project is perfectly fine and won't delete anything inside. Next, let's talk about the New button. On this slide, the New button is shown at the top of the screen. When you click on the button, the drop-down menu pictured on the right appears. The main functions of this button are uploading and creating new files and folders. At the top, the Folder button creates a new folder in your drive. The next two options, File Upload and Folder Upload, let you upload files and folders respectively. The next few options let you create a Google Doc, Google Sheets, spreadsheet, or a Google Slides slideshow. The arrows next to each of those options let you choose to make a blank document or choose from a template. The More option shows any linked apps you may have installed in Google Drive. The New menu can also be accessed by right-clicking on any blank space in the Drive window. Now let's talk about some organizational techniques you can use in Google Drive. These tips could make finding items and being productive much easier and quicker. First, keeping similar items in folders. For example, keeping all your English 104 files in a folder named English 104. Doing this means you don't have to wade through all your other classes' files in order to find your English files. Next, keep your naming conventions consistent. For example, don't use the ENGL abbreviation for one folder and spell out humanities for another. This helps you visually recognize where things are. This also goes for files. Figure out a naming scheme to help you visualize things. In addition to naming folders, you can also color code them. You can do this by right-clicking the folder and selecting Change Color. For any item in Google Drive, you can view the details of the item. You can access this by right-clicking the item and clicking View Details, or by clicking the circled lowercase I button at the top right hand of the page. This details pane shows when the item was created, last modified, last accessed, the owner, location, and type of item it is. At the bottom, you can also type a description for the item. This can help with sharing, as the recipient will see the description of the item. We talked about the Priority tab earlier. Use those workspaces. They are probably the best way of organizing files for use in projects that you'll be working on constantly. For example, keep all your persuasive research essay files in a workspace for easy access. Also, don't forget to use the starred function to further designate important files. Finally, let's talk about sharing, one of the most used features in Google Drive. To share something from your drive with someone else, right-click on whatever it is, and then click Share. In the window that comes up, type the name or email of the person you want to share it with. Typing someone's name will only work if they're in your contacts or if they share the same directory as you, such as both of you having @swmish emails. Before you hit send, make sure that all the permissions are correct. You can choose from Viewer, Editor, or Commenter. After that is in order, hit send. That will send them an email with the link to the file and put the file in their Shared With Me tab. An important distinction to note is that if someone sends you a file in your email as an attachment, that does not mean that it was shared with you, and will not appear in your drive automatically. In this case, you can still add it manually. Just click the file in your email and then click the Add to Drive button at the top of the screen. It looks like a Google Drive icon with a plus symbol next to it. That wraps things up for this video. I hope you learned something useful about Google Drive that can help you in your day-to-day use of it. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for more instructional videos on various topics.